In case you don't know, I haven't been watching the YouTubes or staying up on the Insiders Club videos here. I'm on the island of Kauai. I came out a couple weeks ago to be a raw food chef at a retreat. It wasn't really a raw food retreat. It was actually called Accessing the Infinite, and it was a really great retreat. I was really busy preparing food. I would get up at about 5 in the morning and I'd come out to the beach for a couple hours and swim. That was kind of my free time. And then I'd have a window between like 9 and 11 between breakfast and lunch. But basically I would make breakfast and have that ready by 8:30, and that was usually like a smoothie made out of the coconuts we were getting from my friend Zolti. And then lunch would be something a little bit more substantial, maybe fruits, salads. And then towards the middle of the retreat, there was some people were starting to get a little bit out of balance. I call it, I say they started feeling their feelings. And basically when you start to detoxify from the bread and the meat and the cheese and the eggs and the cooked, you start to feel it, and some people were getting uncomfortable. So I brought in some cooked food, just simple soups, and they were loving the soups. So then it became, the menu about midway became like half cooked, half raw, which is fine. I aim to please. The funny thing about the DTM is just, that's why I can swing these retreats so well. I guess I'll just toot my horn, but all I really wanted to do is just catch up with you. But I just aim to please. Like, too many people caught up on too many things, what people are eating and all this stuff. It's like, and I even told the guy at the thing, you know, not that he didn't want meat in his house, but see, I make meat for my family. So I don't fit into no like vegan category, police. You can try to categorize me or whatever, but if you want to call me anything, you know, I'd be like a fruit and vegetabilitarian. Mostly fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, you know, all that. You've heard it a million times. But I was just saying at this retreat, I told the dude I'd cook meat. He didn't want meat in his house, but I mean, I cook food or whatever everybody wants. I don't care if my daughter wants like to go to McDonald's. That's just me though, because if you do that, you're trying to police everything and police everyone, and it's more hassle than it's worth. And plus, it's the little kid that doesn't get to go to McDonald's. As soon as your back is turned, you're making that cheeseburger 100 times more valuable to him by saying, we can't go get that, but all my friends get to, Mom. Well, we're not because of this and that, and it's got soy in it, and it's junk food, and it's unhealthy for you, and all this stuff. And that kid cannot wait till your back is turned and he's with his grandma, and he's going to say, where do you want to go for lunch? Let's go to the Golden Arches, Grandma. And now what you did is you made that burger at McDonald's 100 times more valuable to the person than if they say, hey, you want the cheeseburger? Okay, sure. We're going to go out to the raw vegan restaurant, or we're going to go out and pick lychees, but we'll take you to McDonald's. And it seems like a crazy thing, but you see it with the moms and the people, everybody trying to police everyone else. And that's just how I roll. But I don't say, well, I don't say to the guy, hey, you hired me to do raw foods and that's what I'm going to do, because then everyone's going to be pissed off at me and ungrumpy. And I'm going to be like, oh, I'll make a soup. I don't care. I love it. I didn't eat any of it. I didn't even need to try it. That's what people were tripping on. That's one of the things that, here's the horn tutor, but people are amazed. They like, I made the raw gourmet and I made the cooked foods and the soups, and they're like, you don't even try this? I'm like, nah, I don't need to. And they thought the soups were amazing. Even some of the raw food people that are raw foodists were eating the soup and trying the broth and digging it because they could see the purity of it. My point is, I guess, what's coming out, because this video was very random and I had no context from which to approach it from, but just sharing with you my experience, is that you can't police your kids. And it may be difficult for you. There was many hundreds of times where I'd be at these classes and I'd be doing retreats or whatever it is, prepping food for other people, where I would end up eating even though I didn't want to, because I like to keep my trajectory, because I have a vision of health and clarity and what I like. That's why the island of Kauai with the bare feet out in the fruit trees, or going to the farmer's market and getting the papayas that were freshly picked, or the organically grown greens, and throwing some tomatoes and cucumbers on there and a little bit of lime juice or lemon juice or something like that. Ultra clean, because there's a vision of clarity in the blood clarity in the tissues, detoxification of the brain, purity of the blood, and clarity of the mind, and the functioning of all the different glands. So it's regeneration. And that can take some time. And I was in environments and had states of consciousness as well as habitual patterns. I can imagine people going, Dan McDonald, you're not done yet? You've been doing this forever. Have I procured results? Many, many results. My heart is much more of a magnetic attractor via love than it was when I started this YouTube channel 6 years ago, and far more supersedes of where it was when I began the raw food journey, for sure. The clarity of the mind gets better and better, and it depends on a lot of how you eat and how you think and your sleeping habits as well. And so, continuation on the journey, I mean, when are you going to be done? When are you going to be done? I think I've realized right now, just by talking to you, that I don't think I'll ever be done. How's my body? Well, this thing's biologically been here for 41 loops around the sun. And can still do 15 or 20 pull-ups. Just did 100 push-ups yesterday. Can still run around and play frisbee like it ain't no thing. Don't get tired. About to do a 22-mile hike on Monday. So the physical organism's going pretty good, but the levels of vitality that I know intuitively that can be reached, come on, man. I haven't even begun to tap in yet. And if I haven't even begun to tap in yet, and you're one of the 99.9% of the people that aren't at the level that this one's experiencing with the food and the making sure that I sleep and staying hydrated and avoiding toxic situations and looking at people that aren't vibrating at the level of I'm thinking where I want to be with pristine and letting in those people into my inner circle. I'd like to kind of leave that, because if you let people in your inner circle and it's toxic, it can be a loop that runs downward forever and keeps you stuck. Or toxic jobs or toxic food, things that aren't pristine and holy to you. To you, a baked potato with avocado and sea salt and salsa might be a level up and have that pristine divinity, and I can understand that, and you have my blessing for sure. But see, like a baked potato to me right now, although if I was really hungry, it would be really awesome because I would remember the awesomeness of it, but it wouldn't really help me to continue to climb the ladder of which I embarked upon many, many years ago. So you have to decide what's pristine and holy and divine for you at this moment, which is going to take you as you expand. So hopefully what you're doing is expanding yourself. And if you're here, it has to do a little bit with diet, but most people actually, a lot of people apparently relate to the authenticity. Maybe they relate to a man who's on a journey and willing to share that along the way. I know that I haven't been as forthcoming. You have to realize that if you're going to be in this world and you're going to shine bright and share yourself, it doesn't matter who you are or where you are or what you're doing. If you're putting out holy music, there's going to be a group over here that's like listening to the lyrics of your music and having your heart come through, and they're going to be uplifted and illuminated. And then there's going to be other people that be like, you suck, I hate God, leave that crap alone. And they're going to leave negativity. So that's just going to be how this world is going to be for you. So I'm encouraging everyone to keep your mind open. I mean, I'll loop back to where I started, and that was with the food thing. You just got to let everybody live free. Can't judge anybody. Can't control. If you're the mom of the house, you can do the shopping, but remember what I said about the cheeseburger or the ice cream or the cookies. Whatever you say that they can't have, that's what they're going to want to have more of. People have to choose health freely. And the best way to do that is to shine so bright. To shine bright. And be patient. I've said this before, I'll say it again, that when you change your diet, everyone's gonna be like, oh, mom's on another one of her stupid things again. It's Jenny Craig, and then it's Weight Watchers, and then it's some kind of surgery or something. This time now you found the raw foods, and they're thinking, oh, who gives a crap about what mom's doing now? It's another one of her stupid things. But if you stick with it, and you really understand the transformational power of diet itself, which is just one small part of the transformation process, but if you're engaged in transformation on the level of diet, it's more than likely, oh, maybe you're one of those people that only cares about diet. There are a lot of those, actually, that I just care about the diet and screw the spirituality or any of that. I get that, and people try to correct me all the time, but if you get really clean and you sit with yourself and you have a revelation of a desire to get to know the internal world, because there was this one lady, I'm just going on because I guess I feel like I really need to catch up here with the Insiders Club. I've been wanting to keep them shorter, but this one, can you tell me where I'm at, Zach, on the time? Because I don't want to... 11. Okay, usually Insiders are 20 minutes, and I love catching up with you. I know the shorter the better, the more views or whatever, but anyways, this lady was like, Dan, I can tell you're searching, and I mean, they always mean well. And it's always had something to do with their religion. And this one was, in particular, was a Jehovah's Witness. Now, I have a lot of respect for the Jehovah's Witnesses. Always have, always will. I was a Jehovah's Witness for a long time. I never got baptized, so I'm not disfellowshipped. So I can talk to all the Jehovah's Witnesses. I can also talk to the born-again Christians, and I can talk to everyone and anywhere in between on every level of spirituality, because it's only just one. So that I can dig it. I can tell you're searching, Dan, and here's the thing about here, look into this, jw.org, and I get it. Or it's been all different kinds of religions. But you got to understand how many times I read the Bible back and forth, how many different churches I've been to. What changed my life was the gospel of peace and raw foods. Before then, I had no compass. I had no ship. So is food my religion? No. But that was where I was going wrong. So when people say I can tell you're searching, of course I'm searching. But see, I'm not searching for words on paper. Or I'm not searching for a group of people that can resonate with me and we all agree on some kind of doctrine or theology or belief system. Because for me, it's a constant evolutionary process. I will tell you that it's an inward journey, and I'll tell you the revelation that I had, because I think this might be really decent stuff here, and I respect your time. But I went on a helicopter ride this morning, and for most people it was cool. And I like roller coaster rides, and I like being at the beach, and I like all kinds of things. I've been dreaming about going in a helicopter my whole life, so today I had that dream come true. I went in a helicopter and it was freaking epic. But at the same time, I was stuck in the same place I'm always stuck. And people can see that, and I think that's what this lady saw. Where am I stuck? I'm stuck on the knowledge that no matter where I'm at in a helicopter, or the star of the show, or the head honcho, or the guy on stage, or the richest one in the room, or the healthiest one in the room, or whatever type of environment that I find myself in, what I realize is that it's the internal environment. When I was in the helicopter, I was still in this constant state of self-observation. I think it's actually a really cool thing, self-observation. And I think you might when you get on this spiritual journey and you do so much meditation and you do the awareness and you do the observation, because meditation is observation, but it can also be, meditation can also be, creation as well, because you can keep bringing your mind back to one principle or one vision or the creative vision that you have, and you can use your mind as a paintbrush to create vision. And when you get into a meditative state, you get into the subconscious and you allow that vision to be absorbed in your unconscious, and then as the heart magnifies and illuminates, it magnetizes all those visions that you have to you, whether that's a new car or a beautiful wife or a new house or a successful business or the perfect weight or whatever it is you're trying to envision. That's the type of meditation. There's another type of meditation where it's, and this can be contemplation throughout the entire day, but the observation of yourself. What is going on in your energy field right now? And are you taking the time to look at that? What is overflowing in your cup? Or is your cup empty? Is your cup a quarter tank full and then you just drip it all over the ground by going to a job you hate every day? And you've got a quarter cup and you take the weekend off and you get a chance to mow the lawn, and maybe you get to go to the beach for a couple hours, and you get your cup like a quarter up full, and then you go back to that job that you hate on Monday and you dump the glass out and your cup never gets full. So what is it that's going to fill your cup? Do you have the courage and the self-love to allow that to happen in your life? And so we're looking for what we're doing is as we observe, we're seeing the subconscious belief patterns and repetitive energetic loops, and then we're becoming aware of that and saying, wait a minute, I am worthy of love. And you start to create another neural pathway by using words and visioning and saying to yourself, wait a minute, I deserve love as much as anybody else anywhere on this earth, and God does love me, and God is love, and that is the center and the source of my being. And so we're just cleaning up house. That's what the detox is on the food trip, because your mind can get real clear, and what you do is you accelerate the renewing of the mind. Then you can regenerate the emotional state using the detox, using the herbs, using the fasting, using the enzyme, using the tools to cleanse, clear, and release, clean the blood, and clear that metabolic mucus debris that's trapped in your blood vessels, arteries, veins, and your colon, and your small and large intestine, and your stomach, and all interstitially throughout your lymphatic system. It all has an energetic frequency. That's why every meal wants to be eaten in happiness. And all that you do wants to be done in happiness and joy. And if we're not in that state, then what would be that you're viewing and observing from this one, that he's in an observation state. And where is he at? He's on a helicopter, and he's looking at this whole island of Kauai going, wow, I'm going to explore this whole island and see the whole thing before I leave here. But at the same time, I'm so well tapped into the inner world that that's what needs to work. The cultivation of the inner garden. Because you could be, if you win $1 million or whatever, all that is just a little bit of painting over the rust. So I'm encouraging through these videos that inward journey, and seek ye first is what I'm talking about. I'm not religious. You can call me spiritual if you want, but I'm just saying, all those are just the words that we use to, verbalize. But I'm talking about, in my own words, finding the treasure. That's my own thing. I never read that in any book. That's my own way of saying it. It's like a treasure. And it's buried at the center of your being. And it's the sunlight of your life. And it's the sunlight of your soul. And the sunlight of your spirit. And it's your divine essence. And it's pure and holy and divine and eternal. And so, I don't know if I'm going to find that at a church. I don't know if I'm going to find that in a doctrine, or if I'm going to find that in words on paper. But you see, for me, and this may be sacrilegious, but it got taken out. Nature got taken out of the holy writings and the holy teachings. Not so much of the teachings of the East. And then we got the whole thing that comes up, oh, devil worship. But no, my friends. And so I try to say, without scaring away my constituents, my viewers, that I am a Christian Buddhist yogi. And I could wipe all that away and say, I'm a lover of the divine. I'm a lover of life. And I'm going to say it like this. I'm a lover of the truth, whatever it is. Reveal yourself to me, O highest truth, and let me know you experientially. I want to feel you in my heart. I feel you in my heart. And I am so glad that you are growing within me every day, opening me up, and I am blossoming like a flower of light. And I am inspired to do so because I can see the blessing that it brings to my brothers and sisters, who so many are lost. And perhaps you may see a man who seeks, but I know until I walk upon this water that's behind me, and I have that much faith in that spirit of life, that there will be more faith to be cultivated, more love to be cultivated, more harmony, and more of the divine knowledge to experience and put into practice. So, if I'm seeking for something, it's a deeper understanding, but it's experiential. To feel the presence of the Lord. Is there any other way to say it? Well, what is the Lord? Is that some dude with a white beard up in the sky? To me, the presence of the Lord is the law that is the master of the universe. That is the animating principle of this grass that I'm touching right now. And the animating principle of the ocean that evaporates from the sun into clouds and brings the fresh, pure, distilled water rain and makes the waterfalls that flow through the rivers that come out to this river right here and flows out into the ocean. And that's a perfect cycle. Whatever that animating principle is that governs this universe, that is the giver of life, that is the law of life. I'm just saying that I would consciously choose to live in subjection to that. Because transcending the law would be foolish. And that comes to do with the food, the laws of nature, because I will suffer and be in the hospital and suffer illnesses and dis-ease and disharmony. And if my spirit suffers, so I choose to live in harmony with the laws of nature. And I choose to do everything I can to be open, to live in the space of the most divine, holy wholeness. There's no words. I don't have words for it. I have many words, but they never quite say what I would say if I really knew. We would just sit here silently together, and we would transmit between our minds and our hearts, and we wouldn't even say one word, and we would just know. And that's why I don't think I can leave this place, because this place helps me to just know more. And for the practical purposes, I'll continue to make videos. And if it's an art that you appreciate and it can benefit your life, you can let me know underneath the videos, or you can also send me an email from the website at the Ask Dan. And I'm just going to make videos anyways. And I'll be honest, a lot of it's out of the practicalities. I really did enjoy that last section myself. That's really where I'm coming from, because I want you to be blessed. I want you to be blessed. I want you to bless yourself with your own words and your own thoughts and your own understanding. And I think that at this moment I can be a bit of a channel. You don't have to agree with me. You can even think I'm nuts. But the light is in you. Because there's no way that it's not, because you wouldn't be here listening. You wouldn't be able to hear. You wouldn't be able to have eyeballs to see the video. And I want to be a blessing to my friends. And I can only do it in my own crazy, eccentric, Christian, yogi, Buddhic, oh God, way. See what I mean? Because I can't shrink anymore. I have to blossom. And even those little boxes are just too small. You know? If you made it to the end of this video, I think you got the meat, baby. The avocado meat, the coconut meat. Because I got warmed up. It took me a few minutes. But where am I really rolling? In a divine space. I guess I could see myself as like a raw food preacher. But I want you to be blessed. I want you to feel blessed. I want to bless you with the words here. I want you to go out and take your shoes off and get in nature, drink pure water, and wash away the acid toxins in your body that are fuzzing up your brain. Maybe put down the pipe, put down the drink, if you can. Put down the donuts, put down the coffee, and treat your body like a temple. Let me tell you, your body is a temple. This thing here is working more and more for me all the time. And I'm able to cultivate a connection with that depth that I've always craved ever since I was a little kid, but I got knocked out the box by education, Saturday morning cartoons, and Hamburger Helper. But now I'm back, and I'm a third of the way through this life. And I'm gonna just purify myself to the point where if they're not saying, dude, you are crazy and extreme, man, how many days did you just water fast? That's too much. If you ain't saying that, I'm not digging deep enough, baby, because there are laws and there is a truth, and the very, very, very small select minority of it will ever experience it. You may absorb some of the knowledge, read some of the books, think it sounds interesting, even adopt some of those teachings and eat a little bit of fruit or drink some juice, or maybe even take like 12 hours to do a fast, or 36 hours, or maybe you'll go 3 days, or maybe you'll do the master cleanse for 7 days, or maybe you'll drink juice for 21 days, or maybe you'll do smoothies for a week. Maybe you'll go get a colonic, maybe you'll get a massage, maybe you'll go take a nap at the beach, maybe you'll put in some headphones and meditate. Maybe you'll start ripping away the layers on your heart and just saying, please help me to clean my heart. Clean my heart. Let me see the golden treasure. That's love. And then you've got the temple, which you've cared for so well and cleaned out all the mucoid plaque from the Hamburger Helper and the government cheese, which is like wax. I remember that stuff, cutting, it's like wax. And I talked to all these raw foodists. I did raw food for a while, for about 6 months, but man, it was really funking me up. And I'm like, well, you couldn't make it through the chasm. I made it through the chasm. You clean that stuff out of there. Otherwise, the raw foods, it's a whole nother level. You can cook all that mishmash. You see? You can cook all that mishmash, and it doesn't mess you up. But when you have real, live, living, raw enzymes, you can't mix all that crap up. The gourmet raw, it's even harder generally sometimes than the cooked gourmet. See what I'm saying? So we're trying to get people over to the juice and the basic little salads with a few vegetables on there and some lemon juice or orange juice. I know the gourmet raw. I'm like a freaking expert at it. I can make the best dang food that ever was as a transitional period, but maybe for 6 months or a year to have those skills, but start looking towards the fruit, the green juice, the smoothies, the salads, and then start looking towards like some olives on lettuce or tomatoes on lettuce. And that's your whole meal, maybe a little bit of lime juice. When you start doing like 3 things or less, when you start going like lychees for breakfast, I know it sounds crazy or whatever. Herbal tea, simple, simplify, purify, energize, illuminate, clarify, illuminate, magnetize, transcend the old and become new again and leave all that behind. So what? I did it too, baby. But we're innocent right now. We're fresh, pure. God's eye is like brand new on you. You're a brand new person right now, no matter what you did. Start making up for it by loving everybody and loving yourself and taking care of the temple and doing everything you can to make a new brain for yourself. Learn some new stuff. Try a new skill. Do something totally different that you've never done. That's what'll help you today. Pick one thing right now that you've never done and never even thought about doing and go do it. And you've built a new pathway in your brain. You might like it, you might hate it. You never know. Then do that every day. Do something you've never done. Push yourself. Pick one skill also that feels good to you and actually put some time and effort and energy into it. You never learned how to play bowling. Whatever, you might actually like it. Go try that once. Oh, that's so cool. Then you could become a master bowler. Whatever, develop new skills, build new neurons. Now see, I just get into this flow, and I think this is for the hardcores. So what I can do is just stop thinking, time, hurry up, and I can get into these divine flows and just let it ride, because I should do like hour-long satsangs like this, where there's not even any questions really. But see, what happens is, as I start tapping into you, believe it or not, now this is where we get cuckoo, but I'm tapping into your heart and your mind right now, and then what's happening is the field is using me as a vehicle, because you will say to yourself, well, I needed that one part, you know, that was the one part you needed to hear, and you're like, well, you know what, I'm not gonna, if my kids want some ice cream, I'll just give it to them. I'm not saying to be crazy and just give everyone they want, but you got to make your judgment call around that. But anyways, my point is that I'm a long-winded son of a gun. I make videos on YouTube and the Insiders Club, and I just made one, and I hope that somewhere along those lines, in some way, you feel blessed, or you got some knowledge or some inspiration that makes your life better. Because if that happened, then it was worth it for me to drag the camera, come down here, do this, you know what I'm saying? I enjoy it. And you want to know why I enjoy it? It's because these types of things, especially some of those nuggets there in the middle, when it was really flowing, that's where my heart is. Man, for real. I don't even really ever say it like I want to say it, because the word God would come up a lot more. It's just a word, but it's just my word for it. To me, it means that which is beyond that I can comprehend and understand right now, but I love with all my heart. Sometimes people think they need to love something, or understand it, I mean, before they can love it. They need to understand something before they can embrace it. But who can know all the truth about all things at all times? You know? It's more like you're just in subjection to it, you know? Now I'm thinking to myself, you ramble on, son. But I sure do love it. Anyways, Insiders Club. Might have to do that in like 2 pieces maybe. I don't know. Maybe throw this one up to the YouTube and do something else for the Insiders Club. We can play. Some pretty good stuff.
Great stuff.
Yeah. Zach's my boy, dude. He's running the camera and editing the videos and just... Anyways, I'll introduce you guys to Zach again soon. Anyways, that was a great video, fun for me, and it's hard to let you go because now, see, at first I wasn't connected, but then I get connected, and now I know we're sitting here together, and it's like we're friends. Even though I'm looking at a little black thing, I know you're there. That's the thing about the DTM that I don't think other people have. I don't know how I have it, but I had it from the beginning. Little flip camera, and I knew you were there, you know, and it just did this thing to me, and here I am, you know, and I'm blessed, and my cup is overflowing, and I just, if I can quench your thirst in one crazy way, small way, food, thoughts, heart, love, spirituality, whatever it is, or just living life. I'm at the beach. I met a girl today at the store, magnetized. I need some body work. I'm a student. I can't charge for it. I'm like, well, let's get together. I'll give you a raw food consultation, because she's one of the ones who was like, I did raw foods, but it was like, and I can touch someone's stomach and I can realize, oh, okay, you know, everybody's got it. The mucoid plaque, man, because you're not as hardcore as DTM with the watermelon, lemon ginger blast, colonics, enzymes, and the Pura Cleanse and any other of the bowel tonics, and just get it out so that you can absorb, utilize, and really get clear. Because if it continues to recirculate, you wake up in the morning all fuzzy, you have to have a cup of coffee, and by noon you're finally getting a little clarity, but then you go out to lunch and have a chicken salad sandwich with the ranch dressing crap at the Subway, and then you just got retoxined again. But then when you go on the fruit and vegetables or the green juice, it just circulates again. So it's quite a process, and I'd love to walk you through it, but it's going to take us 2 or 3 years if you start today. And I'll start with you, because I'm just getting started. I got to go. Peace.